A long, long time ago, when the sands of the desert was still young, there was a spice merchant and his wife. Their names were Hassan and Aisha. Hassan and Aisha sold the best spices in the whole of Al-Bakka. On their stall in the market, there were bowls full of the most wonderful spices. But though he was a good merchant, Hassan was a stubborn man. "I don't want to listen to other people," said Hassan to his wife. "I always know best." One morning, Hassan said to Aisha, "You look after the stall. I need to go to the camel market." Hassan needed to buy a camel. He wanted to take some spices across the Sahara Desert to a town far away. "Which is the cheapest camel?" Hassan asked the camel merchant. The merchant pointed to the most grumpy-looking camel in the market. "That one," he said. "The one with the big hump." Hassan looked at the camel. The camel looked back at Hassan. "It looks like a strong and tough animal," said Hassan. "Maybe you should choose a different camel," said the camel merchant. "That one is very stubborn." "No, I want that one," said Hassan. The next day, Hassan and Aisha carefully put their spices and their water bag onto their new camel. Then they began their journey across the desert. The sun was strong and hot. The heat from the sand dunes was like fire. And Hassan and Aisha didn't know that their water bag leaked. When they were a long way into the desert, Hassan noticed the empty water bag. "What are we going to do?" said Aisha. "We can't survive in the desert without water. It's too hot and dry." "Don't worry," said Hassan. "Look, there's an oasis." He pulled the camel towards some trees far away. The camel didn't want to go. The camel groaned. The camel grumbled. "Maybe the camel is right," said Aisha. "Maybe there is no oasis. Maybe it's just a mirage." But Hassan wouldn't listen. And when they got there, there was nothing. Only sand dunes. The sun got hotter and hotter. Aisha and Hassan were very thirsty. Their mouths were dry. Even the snakes were in the shade. Again, Hassan shouted, "Look over there. An oasis." He pulled the camel off the path. The camel didn't want to go. The camel groaned. The camel grumbled. Aisha shook her head. "Husband, you should listen to the camel. It knows how to survive in the desert." But Hassan wouldn't listen. And again, there was nothing. Only rocks and gravel. Aisha and Hassan were very hot. They were very thirsty. Their mouths were very dry. Then Hassan saw a pond far away. "An oasis, this time I'm sure," he shouted. The camel didn't want to go. The camel groaned. The camel grumbled. "When are you going to listen to the camel and stop being so stubborn?" said Aisha. "It's only a mirage." But Hassan wouldn't listen. And once more there was nothing, only a cactus. Now Aisha and Hassan were very weak and tired. Their heads hurt. Hassan saw some trees far away. "An oasis," he said. "We are saved. Come, camel." He tried to pull the camel off the path. The camel groaned. The camel grumbled. But this time, the camel wouldn't move. The camel stayed on the path. The camel didn't listen to Hassan. "Let the camel choose the way," said Aisha. "It's only a mirage, the same as before." "Stubborn animal," said Hassan. But Hassan was too weak to do anything. He and Aisha closed their eyes and fell asleep. The temperature was hotter than ever. If they didn't find water soon, it would be too late. But the stubborn camel carried on walking, rocking from side to side, just like a ship in the sea. The camel's thick coat protected it from the sun. Soon there were some palm trees. On the path ahead, there was a small pond and a herd of goats. There were some tents. This was the home of the nomadic Bedouin people. But this wasn't a mirage. This was an oasis. A real oasis. The camel groaned and walked faster. Aisha woke up. She saw the trees. "Husband," she shouted. "We are safe." Hassan couldn't believe his eyes. Is this real? Soon, they were at the oasis. The people in the tents ran out to help them. They gave them water. The camel drank from the pond. "That stubborn camel saved us," said Aisha. "He stayed on the path." "That is true," said Hassan. "But remember, I was the clever person who bought him."